I had just moved back to Pakistan. Everything felt unfamiliar. The streets, the air, even the silence. Something about it all felt off. We had just shifted into a new house. It was the upper portion. The lower part had been locked for years. No one lived there. The landlord was settled in London. Before us, his elderly parents had lived here. They had passed away a long time ago. Since then, the house stood empty. We'd only been living there for 10 or 12 days when things started to get strange. That night, I went to use the bathroom. The door wouldn't open. At first, I thought maybe it was stuck, old wood, maybe humidity. But when I pushed, I could feel resistance, not just a jam. It felt like someone, or something, was on the other side, holding it shut. I pushed again, harder. Nothing. I called my sister. She tried to still wouldn't budge. We both stood there, confused. A kind of silence that didn't feel peaceful. It felt alert, like something was watching. I went upstairs to talk to our maid. She lived in the servant quarters above us. She had worked in that house for over 12 years. I asked her straight, "Is there anything strange about this house?" She looked surprised. "No, Badgie," she said. "This house is blessed." The old uncle was a very religious man. A Hafiz. He read Quran daily. Even on his last day, he was reading it. Her answer calmed me a little. We ended the conversation casually. I came back downstairs. My room had a window that faced the spiral servant stairs. From that angle, I could see anyone going up or down. And if the main gate was ever locked, those stairs were the only way in. That night, Mama and I were both trying to sleep. She had laid a pillow on the floor near the window. The tiles were cooler than the bed. The electricity had been gone since morning. I was lying on my bed, half asleep, when suddenly Mama sat up and looked at me. "Is your brother home?" she asked. I frowned. "No." "Why, someone just walked past that window," she said. She was sure of it. "A man in pants." My brother always wore shorts. "Never pants." I went to check. No one. She kept staring out that window. "I saw him," she whispered. "I know I did." She went outside for a walk to calm down. I didn't know what to think, but deep inside, something told me this wasn't going to be the last. It was around 3:30 in the afternoon. The power had been out since morning. No fan. No lights. The air felt still and thick. Mama took a pillow and lay down on the floor near the window, right beside the servant stairs. She said the tiles felt cooler. She closed her eyes and tried to rest. I was lying on my bed, scrolling through my phone. Suddenly, Mama's eyes opened. She looked straight at me. "Someone just passed the window again," she said quietly. I looked up, confused. "No one's here, Mama." She sat up. "No, I saw someone, a man, walking past. He was wearing pants." I reminded her again, "Mama, Boy is not home. He always wears shorts, not pants." She didn't answer. She just got up and walked outside. Told me her heart felt uneasy. She needed fresh air. That night, we didn't talk about it, but something inside me shifted. That tiny seed of doubt had started growing. The next incident came a few days later. It was after Maghrib. The sky had just started to turn dark. That strange in-between hour when everything feels half awake. I was in my room, lying on my bed. The door was in front of me, slightly open. And that's when I saw it. A face, but not a real one. Not completely. It peeked from behind the doorframe. A human shape, but the face had no features. No eyes. No nose. Just the outline of a beard. The body was bulky. Short height. But there was no neck, only a head, tilted unnaturally forward. It was like he was playing peekaboo, just showing himself for a second, then disappearing. I blinked, sat up. Nothing. My heart was pounding. I didn't tell Mama. Didn't want to worry her. Later that evening, my sister came home. She saw I looked pale. I told her what I saw. She said the same. After Mama saw him sitting on the bed, everything changed. No more jokes. No more calling him Kamlesh. We stopped laughing because now we knew he was watching. He had been all along. That same night, Mama went straight up to the maid, told her everything about what I saw, what my sisters felt, what Mama herself witnessed. The maid listened quietly. Then she said something strange. She told Mama about the landlord's father, how he used to do zikr, how he had some protection with him, something spiritual. She said Uncle was very pious, but he never stayed in that room for too long. He always kept the door open. Always. We didn't know what that meant, but we remembered. That room, the one where Mama saw him, the one with the bed he sat on. That used to be Nana Jan's room, my grandfather's. And that room had a bathroom. A strange one. It was larger than usual. Inside it, there was a walk-in closet. The lights always stayed on. And every night, around 1:30 or 2, we'd hear the bathroom door creak open, then close, like someone was going in, then coming out. At first, I thought it was just old hinges. But when I looked, there was no one there. And the light, it would turn off by itself. We tried to ignore it, but the smaller things started piling up. Roti would disappear from the hot pot. Curtains had stains, blood-like marks, with no explanation. One day, a clay pot shattered on its own. Another day, Mama opened the fridge to find all the food mixed up, like someone had been digging through it. She kept telling Baba on the phone, "This house, it's not right. Something's wrong here." Then came the real fear. I started noticing it first. The bathroom door wouldn't just open and close. I could hear footsteps inside, like a crowd. Walking, whispering. I'd pull the blanket over my head. I'd try not to breathe, but every time I peeked, the light would still be on. And sometimes, someone would be standing there, just standing. No movement, no sound, only a shape, like a man. Short, stocky. No neck, beard. Face, blurred. The first time I saw him clearly, I froze. He wasn't far away. He was right next to my bed. His face was ruined, mouth drooping unnaturally, like it was broken, skin sagging, eyes hollow. He didn't move. I couldn't scream, couldn't speak. I just stared. Frozen. Then I got up, walked straight to the bathroom, but I could feel him there, breathing. When I finished, I laid out the prayer mat. It wasn't even Fajr time yet, but I prayed. I didn't care what time it was. That night, I didn't sleep. None of us did. We didn't talk about it anymore. There was nothing left to say. We were sharing a house, but we weren't the only ones living there, and we had already made a mistake. We laughed. We mocked. We gave him a name, but he had always been here. And now, he was showing us who he really was. After that night, things got worse. We moved rooms again. Mama and Baba took one room. The three of us sisters shared another. But even then, the strange things didn't stop. Little things, like Roti disappearing from the kitchen, curtains stained with strange red marks, objects moving on their own. Mama started writing everything down. She wanted to keep track, to understand what was happening. One morning, Mama found the microwave door wide open. The rotis she had put inside were gone. Another time, a flower pot shattered without anyone near it. The sound made us all jump. We couldn't ignore it anymore. Even my youngest sister refused to sleep alone. She said she saw the same faceless man standing in the corner. Baba was worried too. He called a religious man to bless the house. But still, the feeling of heaviness stayed. The house didn't feel like home anymore. And that bathroom door, it kept opening and closing on its own. I would lie awake at night, listening to footsteps, feeling eyes watching me. One night, I dared to look. There he was again, the same shadowy figure, face blurred, standing silently at the door. I didn't run. I didn't scream. I just stared. And I whispered to myself, "This isn't over." That night, I knew one thing for sure. He wasn't hiding anymore. Whatever this thing was, he wanted to be seen. He wanted us to know he was there. And it wasn't just me anymore. My sisters had seen him. My mother had seen him. One night, my youngest sister screamed. She said someone had pulled her blanket clean off in her sleep. She was shivering, crying. Said she saw him standing at her feet, just staring. The next day, Mama decided enough was enough. She packed our bags. We left the house that very night. Not a single one of us looked back. The landlord in London never picked our calls again. He never returned our messages. Maybe he knew. Maybe that's why the house had been locked for years. Maybe that's why his parents died in that same house, alone. We never found out. We just left. And whatever followed us in those 3 weeks, we prayed stayed. We moved out. But the silence never left us. Even in the new house, the first few nights were hard. Every creak, every flicker of light, every shadow felt like a memory chasing us. Mama started reciting Quran louder than ever. Every day. Every night. The entire house echoed with Ayatul Kursi. My youngest sister started sleeping with the lights on. She never did that before. And me? I still couldn't sleep on my right side, because that's the side he always stood on. It took weeks, maybe months, before things began to feel normal again. But normal never really came back. Not completely. We never spoke about it with anyone outside the family, because who would believe us that something with no face could show up again and again just to watch us from corners, from doors, from shadows? We'd laugh sometimes, say, "Remember Kamlesh?" But deep down, none of us were really laughing. You see, some houses carry memories, some carry spirits, and some carry things far darker than that. We left that house behind, but the fear, we still carry it with us. Even now, years later, sometimes I still wake up at 3:30 for no reason, and I feel it again. That familiar pull, like something or someone is standing in the corner of the room, quiet, watching. Waiting.